Hi everyone, I'm Melanie Dorman, and you're listening to The Right Read. Hello listeners, I recently read William Golding's Lord of the Flies, and chances are you've done so as well. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about a couple of recurring symbols in this novel, and the purposes that they serve. The first symbol I'd like to highlight is the conch. This shell is the first thing that the boys find on the island, and is a strong representation of authority, structure, and order. In summary, the conch represents the benefits of modern society and civilization. Even throughout the first 15 or so pages of the story, it is evident that the conch and its proprietor hold some degree of power above the rest. When Ralph blows into the conch, it allows him to summon all the other boys. When choosing who should be chief, Ralph is singled out as a viable option because he is the one holding the conch. Having the conch gives Ralph authority and power, even when the conch holds hardly any meaning. In addition to this, Ralph creates the rule which states that whoever is holding the conch has the right to speak. This rule is created to ensure that people don't talk over each other, and that everyone is respected in turn. It is a way to give structure and organization to the boys' lives. The conch enables the boys to create a type of democracy among themselves, complete with a leader chosen by the people, and a way to ensure that everyone's voices are heard. As the story progresses and the boys stray farther and farther from what we would deem regular or civilized behavior, the conch's power and authority diminishes. Jack and his hunters kill the pig and let the fire die, which is an undeniable sign that the children are abandoning their former morals. Immediately after this, Ralph calls an assembly where the conch's authority is questioned for the first time. Ralph states that rules are the only thing we've got. In return, Jack shouts to ignore the rules. Jack, who is an undeniable representation of savage behavior, only gets more support as the novel continues, and, as a result, the conch only becomes less and less powerful. There are many instances where Piggy needs to repeat, "I got the conch," multiple times in order to make the others listen to him. The more savagery controls, the less order there is, and the less the conch is respected. Ultimately, the conch is destroyed in an act of ruthlessness. Roger pushes a boulder onto Piggy, killing him and crushing the conch simultaneously. This is the climax of the story, the point of absolute abandon of civilization and structure among the boys. Throughout the entire novel, the conch is a reflection of civilization in the boys' lives. In the beginning, it creates order and balance. When that order is gone, the conch disappears along with it. The other main symbols I'm going to discuss are Piggy's glasses, and also the character of Piggy himself. I find that Piggy's glasses represent true power. Piggy represents logic and reasoning, and it is the fact that he wears glasses that distinguishes him from the others. The glasses themselves are able to create fire, which no other person or thing on the island can do. As a result, the glasses hold absolute power. At the end of chapter 10, Jack's tribe raids Ralph and the others to steal Piggy's glasses. Piggy thought that the boys were going to steal the conch because they wanted power, and in his eyes, the conch was the symbol of systematic power. In fact, the savages stole the glasses because they recognized the glasses and control of the fire as true power over the rest. Piggy as a character represents logic and common sense. From the very start of the story, it is evident that Piggy is intellectually superior to the rest of the boys. He not only knows more factually than the others, he is also more reasonable. Piggy demonstrates the former on many occasions. He knew what the conch and what the mirages were, and also had the idea to build sundials. Although these sundials never got built, they were still a good idea that none of the others would have thought of. There are countless occasions where Piggy is the voice of logic among the boys. For example, he initially recognizes that all the boys need to be called all together to one place. One could argue that Piggy's most consistent example of reason in the story is the fact that he realizes that order and rules are the only way to stay alive and ensure success on the island. As early as the second chapter, Piggy asks the boys, "How can you expect to be rescued if you don't put first things first and act proper?" He is able to identify priorities, and that the signal fire will equate to rescue. Later on, Ralph states that he is considering giving up the position of chief. Piggy exclaims that Ralph needs to stay chief because without him, there would only be chaos and no signal fire. Perhaps the most heartbreaking example of Piggy's belief in structure is his last speech before he is killed. Which is better, to have rules and agree, or to hunt and kill? Not only does he understand what the priorities of the boys should be, he understands that creating order and rules is the only way to succeed. Perhaps a little naively, Piggy puts immense trust in the system and government that the boys have created. On account that he understands why the structure is necessary, he expects all the others to do the same. When it turns out that this is not the case, Piggy rightfully becomes upset. On multiple occasions, he accuses the boys of acting like a bunch of kids, implying that they should know better. In Chapter 8, after most of the boys have joined Jack and his tribe, Piggy asks Ralph, "Can't they understand? Without the smoke signal, we'll die here?" He is one of the few children who thinks rationally and understands the gravity of the situation. In conclusion, Golding uses objects and characters to represent various principles that guide people's actions in a society. And that was the show for today. Questions? Comments? You can contact me at rightread@gmail.com or tweet me at rightreadpodcast. Once again, I'm Melanie Dorman. This is The Right Read. Thank you all for listening.